progressive community, a special place, special people. You must have the highest rate of home ownership in the country, 84% as I recall. One, if not the lowest poverty and unemployment rate, and all of your elementary schools met the adequate yearly progress. You say your high schools met and exceeded the highly performing and excellent rankings. What do you attribute to your K-12 success, and how are you sharing this with other communities?
I'll give that a try. Thank you for the very kind compliments, by the way. We are fortunate, as the mayor, I think, the strongest part of Goodyear is its people, and I mean that literally. Our people are educated. I would guess that 98 to 99% of the people support everything we're doing in Goodyear. So we in the elected world are very fortunate to have that kind of support. And they're the same people that raise the kids to go to school. We do, as you probably know, the district of the schools, the school district, is not under Goodyear. But we work closely with them. Our police work with them. We obviously have all their parents live in our community, and I think work with us in generating a strong situation and upbringing for their kids. So the school districts are absolutely imperative in the success, but also the lifestyle, which all of us, just 30 of us here, but 57,000 others generate in support of those young students is a real key element, I think.
Thank you so much. Excellent presentation. A wonderful, wonderful community. I want to come back to the Interstate 10 project and activity. You acknowledge in your application that the association that you have to deal with is made up primarily of mayors. Could you just, in a little bit more detail, tell us how the citizens actually impacted on this decision, on this project? Did they go to hearings? And was there a broad range of citizens involved? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Come on, Mayor, get up there.
Yes, again, this is that 99% support factor that we are so fortunate to have. We had a major problem on our 10. Every day, 3 times a day, not twice, but 3 times a day, it backed up. Citizens were coming to me all the time, Jim, what can you do about this? Well, there was something we could do about it. The plan for I-10 widening was actually funded for 2011-2012. And what we thought we could do, since it's already approved, let's accelerate it. And the only way in the state of Arizona you can accelerate a project is for the cities themselves, the localities, to come forward with the money. So 3 cities did. There was absolutely incredible support by our people. We didn't have to raise taxes. That probably made them even more supportive. But the fact is, they all supported it. And why wouldn't they? Because they're the ones driving to Phoenix to go to work. They're the ones that their children, their 18-year-olds, are on that freeway, and it was very dangerous. Absolute support. Unanimity. Thank you.
Christine?
Good morning, and it is very clear you are your people. Thank you for being here this morning. I was really fascinated by your skateboard part and the bikers and all of that. I'm really interested to hear that out of that came your teen youth council. Could you talk a little bit more about that? How are the teens or the youth selected? What is their role? And what has been the first thing that you have all grappled with since the bike park or the skateboard park?
Okay, my name is Jade Osborne. I'm a part of the Teen Action Council. I'm actually the first member to join the Teen Action Council. Me and my group, we have about 20 people in my group, and we come together and we talk about different fundraising ideas, different ways we could volunteer at different places. We've come up with different events to hold at the YMCA, like we've had Fear Factor, a haunted house, and just random different things for the teens to come because they had nothing else to do except skateboard and trash different places around the city. And so actually, Joe, right here, he came to the city to talk about why we should have one. So.
Goodyear sets himself apart with actually the design of the skate park in general, and what they didn't realize is how many bike riders and skateboarders would show up to get involved in the process. And so they were presented with a challenge with that, and they really came through and gave a place for everybody to ride.
Thank you so much.
There must be hundreds of communities around the United States that find themselves at your size and in your challenges to prepare people for the kind of economy at the end of the 21st century who don't have any higher education institutions. It strikes me as being really an act of bold imagination to think that you could actually go out and recruit branches of universities to come and install themselves with a physical presence in your community. Can you say any more about what they said? Was that unusual for them to be approached by a community like you? Was it a hard sell? Did you have to go to unusual lengths to get them to agree to this partnership? Or were they kind of ready? Is this a lesson to a lot of other communities? If you just go ask them, they come.
Cindy Porter from the University of the Incarnate Word. I will tell you that the first thing I said when the chancellor called me over to his office and said, "We have this interesting thing on the desk I want you to look at." I said, "Are you nuts?" All right, and then I started looking at Goodyear, and my husband and I, who's also a dean at the university, took a trip, a subterfuge type of a trip to go out and visit, and we were so incredibly impressed. All right, we stopped people as we walked through the city and said, you know, what can you tell us about the city? And we got so much information and came back and said, you know, this is something we need to do. And the other thing I would tell you is that the university, I said, would be the first Catholic university in the state of Arizona. And this is very true. There is no Catholic education. There's some faith-based. But the West Valley, with all its growth, needs to have an educational system out there that has the liberal arts as well as the high schools. And that's why we're there. And we're very excited. And we're actually reincorporating as an Arizona incorporation for this. It will not just be a branch campus. It'll be 3,000 students at full build-up.
My name is Raymond Vandering. I'm the Vice President of Strategic Initiatives at Franklin Pierce University from the Northeast. From the cold to the warm, the extreme. We're glad to be in sunny Arizona. When we look at various strategic options around the nation as well as around the world, we have campuses in Europe as well as the Eastern Europe and so on. We also look, obviously, at the United States. This initiative came forward, and we were very impressed with the mayor's vision in particular. Obviously, that was well articulated in the RFI, and we were very eager to take a look at what was behind the RFI, because it's very unique. It's rare that private nonprofits are courted to come into a community. You see a lot of that with the for-profits and so on. But when we looked at the match between our mission and the mayor's vision, it was perfect. Franklin Pierce University prides itself on its mission of teaching students about the importance of their responsibility as individuals to community, and then vice versa, the place of individual and community. And when we talked with the mayor and people like Jack Rose, a local developer, and all the stakeholders and the council members, we knew we had a home. And this community, and we're outsiders initially, and we've certainly family now, this community really they walk the talk, and they mean it, and they're about community, and we're proud to be a part of it.
I would just echo their comments. It was actually a very easy sale. Once they came into town and saw what Goodyear had to offer, we were able to put together a business coalition to support the effort, and it's dovetailed very nicely.
Thank you for this conference. I regret we're going to have to stop, and I have about 3 more that have questions for you all, because that's such a great story to tell. I want to thank the children and the young people and the teenagers. The little baby stood up a little bit. I felt like that many times. So I definitely appreciate that. And the young man on the back row that must almost be 7 feet tall, he can come to Missouri and play any place you want. Anyway, you have a great, obviously warm community that's doing amazing things, and stay involved in your government and in your community. You are the ones that will make the difference now and in the future. But you can do it now. So you're living proof of that. Thank you for being